We are pleased to be back now live from DGC, and we welcome Mr. Majed Al Suwaidi, Managing Director of Dubai Media City. For those of you watching us today and in the next 2 days, we are actually live from Media City, where our offices are, and really honored to have Mr. Majed Al Suwaidi with us today to discuss the role of Media City and how they are actually welcoming and preparing to welcome gaming companies in Dubai, in Media City. Mr. Majed, welcome to DGC Live.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you. We would start, if you would like, with a brief intro or idea about Media City and its mandate today and its role in the ecosystem.
So definitely. And I think today Dubai Media City has been here for the last 20 years. So we've been playing an ongoing role in developing the whole of the media sector within the region and within the UAE specifically and within Dubai, to be precise. I think Dubai's vision since the year 2000 was always to be the place of choice for all of the talented individuals within so many different sectors, and the media sector is one of the critical sectors that the government of Dubai was focusing and putting a lot of effort in creating this environment, this positive environment for. So I think as we evolved over the years, I think we've attracted a lot of people. So we have more than 40,000 people that are working within the site, and at least more than 35,000 people that have been working within media companies within our different jurisdictions that we take care of. The focus was always to attract companies in the media sector from around the world so that we can build a talent bridge where we have a lot of talent that is working and developing their capabilities and developing their companies out of the UAE. We've then grown out of that. We started working within the film industry with Studio City, and we've grown into also the areas within the live production. So we've actually encompassed the whole ecosystem with regards to the media sector in the region. So today we are one of the largest hubs in the region developed precisely for this job. And we've seen a very nice uptake over the years of attracting the different talent and different companies within the subsectors of media. And we are still looking at this evolution also going forward and seeing a lot of different and new opportunities coming up for companies that choose Dubai Media City as their launchpad.
And if we are trying to specifically look for gaming companies to come and establish in Dubai and in Media City, for example, AAA studios, or what we call big studios like they are known, they need to have a full ecosystem in order to be able to operate, because they outsource a lot of their work when they are operating. Mm-hmm. In that sense, I believe that Media City today has all these facilities to be able to welcome these publishers and big international gaming companies to come and establish here. And we have seen actually some of them already established in Dubai and in Media City, like Tencent, like Riot Games, and like Gameloft and other companies as well. Yeah. Any plans to specifically attract these companies here in Dubai?
So I think we've started this approach with regards to the gaming industry a little bit earlier. So we've actually seen that this is an opportunity for people from around the world to take advantage of a huge population living within the Middle East and North Africa, basically, that see Dubai as their hub for getting content and for working on this content. And we've actually, out of all our studies that we did behind the scenes, where we've seen, like the Arab Media Outlook and others since 2015, we've actually seen that there is a huge potential that is going to happen as the industry evolves and industry starts moving into different sectors. So the current sectors that we have seen that has huge growth is one of them, which is gaming. Mm-hmm. But what is nice and what especially we feel gives us a great advantage is that we've actually worked on all the subsectors that are coming before. So all of the value chain that, of us focusing now on gaming alone, all of the value chain that fits the gaming sector is available today here. Earlier we had them fragmented, now we have them identified. So today similar to content creation on video or in film or in short form or on the net in general. These are all the same value requirements within the value chain of the gaming. So now putting that together, that made it very clear that our integration within the technology and media sector today is exactly the platform that people require to be able to showcase and develop content for the region. Now the region has shifted from only importing content to being able to export content, or to be able to create content for the region. So this is where we say to companies that are available around the world, it's nice to create content where you are, but it's better to create content for this 350 million people that are living within the region, that share the same platform, that share the same beliefs, and could, even they share the same language, which will definitely open up a huge business opportunity for you to be able to operate out of the UAE and out of Dubai specifically.
We totally agree with you, and we see that today when companies are actually looking to establish in the region, they are looking for these local talents because they will need to outsource to them, for example, some animation jobs, some 3D artist jobs, some, for example, filming jobs, etc.
And to add to that, today we have so many different factors that play an important role. So other than the factors that we are attracting talent, and Dubai is one of the most sought after locations for talent within the region, out of the study that was done. So most of the Arab youth would like to be located within Dubai. That's in itself a positive sentiment that we are capitalizing on. Other than that, today I think there were so many different products that we have actually created to support this ecosystem from different angles. So whether it is a company that is coming in and it has the infrastructure it requires, or whether it's an individual that requires a more robust, small, efficient setup or requirement that he has. And this falls into the freelance. This falls into the M5, which is our supporter of entrepreneurs and an incubator kind of platform that we run. So we have so many different factors that will always be here to help these individuals take advantage of it. Now, the only thing that is required is that this individual picks up his ticket and comes in and be able to operate in one of these locations. Whether he wants to become a freelancer and works on his own, or whether he wants to become an entrepreneur and start his own business through one of our studios. And looking at the whole spectrum of offered services, from the infrastructure services. So from you saying, you know what, and I require a studio, but I don't want to build a studio in my office because it's costly and it takes a lot of space and I'll be using it once or twice. We say, why not? Come to us and we will be providing you with these opportunities within our own facilities. So instead of you taking it for a whole year and you use it for a week, we are actually telling you, come and rent it out, because we've spent the money on a state-of-the-art infrastructure for you. If you want to create film, if you want to create voiceovers and music, we can help you with that, and you can rent it for the time that you require. So 1 hour a day, whether it is an hour a day or a full day or whatever it is that you require. So that takes away the burden that people had with their setup cost when they came in. So we invested a lot. So we invested in the filming studios. We invested into the voice recording studios. We invested into the platforms. And so that you don't go all over the place to help them. So we have that on one single platform that will help you.
Exactly. And I believe also for startups, it's very important to be able to reach the quality without the burden of the very high cost as well.
So coming back to the idea today of what has been done today to support them. So you've highlighted a very important factor. Today, these entrepreneurs require a platform, they require the support, require everything else that comes with it. So as an entrepreneur, you have to build on that. Now, what we've done is that other than the fact that we've built the infrastructure to support you, we actually support you in many different angles too, because we capitalize on the big number of professionals that are available within our zones. So this what makes us different than others. Today, Media City today, and comparatively different to any other media city around the world, is that we have the numbers and we have the opportunities and we've gone through the learning process over the years. So we've actually, instead of only trying to sell you a spot, which we don't, because we believe that you are a partner in the development of Dubai and development of this ecosystem, we also try to support you in many different angles. So we will get in touch with the best songwriter. And we will tell him, you know what, I need you to give a workshop. It's free of charge to all our communities. And this in itself today, in our different ecosystems, whether it's we are the entrepreneurial part, or whether it's the freelance or the other part, we try to integrate these kind of support mechanisms so that you do not need to go through the whole trial and error process. In fact, I will get you the guy who actually went through the trial and error process, and he's willing to come and share his knowledge and share his experience in making it work. So there is so many different ways for you to be able to incorporate this within our ecosystem, because this is what we are very proud of having today, that this ecosystem is built on a strong, robust mentality of supporting and growing companies going forward. And I think this is a testament to why we are here today, 20 years, and talking about the evolution of the newspaper to the digital newspaper to the digital magazines. And we are here today in your studios, when a fully publishing entity which is transforming into a new digital entity, which is in itself a testament of how this evolution within the media sector has changed.
Yeah, it's clear that within the, let's say, the cluster of the media city, if we can call it like this, or within the city, you have so much of these companies and talents, and everyone is actually contributing together and playing this role that you mentioned of not only setting up an infrastructure, but also working on mentorship, on master classes, on exchange of knowledge, facilitating interaction between the different components and the different companies that are there. I believe this is a great environment for young entrepreneurs to be at. And you grow faster like this.
Definitely, and not only that, and even in the hard times a few months ago, I think the teams were able to interact, in either supporting this newly engaged talent with offering opportunities for them, either paid or non-paid, but mainly there were opportunities were paid, where the environment was on a lockdown and no one was doing anything and no environment. We actually had that burden on us to say, you know what, I will support talent. I will support artists in their homes, and we will pay them too. So it's not only that you come and entertain everyone, I will actually put my money where my mouth is. So that is the opportunity. And we also thank all of the others that came on these calls to share their knowledge and share their experience. This in itself has been an experience which only showcased that we are well when we are together.
Of course. And in terms of the gaming industry, for example, we know that Dubai has a lot of potential and a lot of infrastructure to welcome these companies, and in particular in Media City as well. And we have been organizing DGC in Dubai for the past 3 years now, and this is our fourth year. And just by saying Dubai, actually, people would just come and would be there. And they know that when they come to this event, they will also be able to meet partners in Media City, in Internet City, in the government and other companies, because also it is the home of all the headquarters, whether it is in media and publishing, of also international company or big regional companies. So, and this is what makes it very efficient for any businessman. Going back to the youth and the future of the youth. There is a lot of youth, and we have been actually witnessing it, whether through our contacts with developers, with creators, that are really looking to establish themselves in the gaming industry. And I'm sure that if they find also the right support, the right channels, they would definitely be able to expand their presence and as you said, what we want is to actually be able to have the global success coming from here to the world.
No, I think there is a fundamental point that is there. Today, things grow on opportunities, and I think today, with such a big number of percentage of the population within the region who are within their youths and within a certain bracket that is very interested in gaming.
Yes,
this in itself is an opportunity for people to come and spend their time and effort. Other than that, I think the maturity of the market also has been greatly seen as a catalyst, because now as maturity starts moving in, you find more investors, you find more talent, you find more opportunities, and you will find a lot more people converging and working together, whether they are working as part-timers or owners of a platform or whatever it is. And the type of games that will start coming up, you will say that these types of games are not only games that have been imported, but in fact games that you and me feel close to. Whether it is a person wearing a local dress, or whether it is but that you will never be finding. Even the guys who did them in the international agency companies around the world.
True.
They didn't do it in the right way that you will feel
exactly
related to. So there are opportunities for talent to come and develop here.
Yes, and we have seen. We have a session on culturalization in games, and we have seen a lot actually recently in the past years, a lot of publishers from the region going into their own culture, their own characters, and creating the games as such, and with great success. And they are doing very well in the market. And
we are still at an infancy stage. Exactly. Can you imagine how things will move forward?
Exactly. And I have personally, of course, being in Dubai, visited many of the facilities that are here, from Studio City to the rest of the clusters. And it's true that it's a dream come true. I mean, the first time I visited Studio City, I was like, wow, this is just amazing, to have this and just.
This is exactly what I said when I first saw the big studios.
Yeah.
And because I'm not from the studio industry at the beginning, and then when you see these, you say, okay, now we are talking on a very serious note.
Yeah. So I do believe that there is, first of all, for the developers and the companies that are in Dubai, this is a great opportunity and chance to be able to have these facilities so close and so available, and be able to create and just produce some of the best content that they can actually produce. And I believe also that for whoever is from the region or international publishers are also able to find here what they are used to find, and even better sometimes. In terms of the gaming industry, we are still facing one little problem sometimes, is that investors sometimes are just afraid to invest in gaming companies. It's a little bit like oil, sometimes you dig for it, but you don't find it. A development studio also has the same thing. You can invest in a team, you can invest in what they're doing. They might be doing a great game technically, but it will not have a return on investment. And we were having a call also today with Jason De La Roca, and he was explaining to us that the role sometimes of government or clusters is to actually, or even investors in the private sector, to invest in 100 studios, but by knowing that 10 of them will succeed. But they have to go through the 100.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. So here also, how do you think that we can have maybe some kind of support, or maybe more knowledge shared with companies that are within the cluster about the industry, because you have to educate the investor as well, in a way.
Look, I think there is a very important positive angle to all what you've said, and you are 100% correct. I think the mentality itself has changed, and this is why I mentioned the maturity of the industry has changed. So the gaming sector today is coming after so many years of development of an industry and of an entrepreneurship industry that is based on risk, that's based on opportunity, that's based on the chance that things would work out very well. So I think a lot of this education has happened. Now, there are so many different ways of thinking about it. One is saying, you know what, as a government, you have to spend, which is a school of thought. And if that's one school of thought that says, you know, governments should spend. There's another school of thought that says, you know, it's a partnership between the government and the private sector. And there's the third one which says, no, this is an investment point of view and it's an industry. So who better to take this chance or this leap of chance other than an investor who puts his money where he thinks it would work. So now we've shifted from the total left to the total right. And we are seeing that today, the investment that the governments will put are never going to be in the company. I wouldn't say never. There will be opportunities. But ideally, governments will put a lot of its emphasis on the investment, on the infrastructure. So I will invest onto infrastructure that will make your life easy. So instead of you filming in a warehouse that you will kit for that filming, I will actually give you the proper studio, that which I will invest in as capital expenditure. I will invest into different opportunities, different visa capabilities, different licenses, different things that will make your infrastructure of doing business easier. And then I would come and depend on a little bit on the private sector, because he has the skin in the game. He has the opportunity to support you. If you have the opportunity, if you have the talent, he will be able to mentor you. He will be able to advise you. He will be able to, direct you. He will be able to connect you because he has some vested interest in that. So there is today, and this is where we are today. This is where the maturity of the industry has moved to. Today, whether it's an IT company, whether you're developing an app, whether you're developing publishing a book, whether you are creating a film, this is where we are today. But the different sectors are at different points of their life cycle. In tech, we are advanced, we are good. There is an opportunity. Yes, there are gaps, and I think these gaps will always be there, and we'll be able to fill them up. And basically, it's an ongoing process. Within the film publishing and gaming, which is under publishing in this case, I think there is good amount of efforts that have been put, and I think maturity of the investors have grown. So you'll find people that are interested in this sector, and I think as we go forward, we'll find more and more people taking these chances, especially with the fact that today you have PUBG, you have Fortnite, who've actually shown that something like this could become a billion-dollar company overnight if it was done properly with the right technology and with the right talent.
And there is, in the gaming industry, the ecosystem is so wide.
Mm-hmm.
So gaming includes payment, advertising, online advertising, influencers, back-end solutions, telecom companies, of course, creators, studios, artists. It's a very wide spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And even in terms of media, in the end, a gaming company are looking to get to the users, to the gamers.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have even brands today, we saw that KFC launched a console. Just after PS5 launched their console, KFC made an announcement that now they have their own console. First, I thought
fried chicken is changing.
I thought it was a joke first, but actually it's not. And we are seeing a lot of, for example, BMW that is now running esports competitions.
Mm-hmm.
And so and we are seeing actually a lot of also the media companies starting to go into gaming, because they are also seeing that there is an opportunity there to help gaming companies reach the 350 million you just mentioned.
And it's a small bridge. So today, a lot of these businesses or industries are very and they are complements. So for me to transfer from a fully media to it's very easy because I have the talent, I have the artists, so into basically repurposing your industry today is the way forward for all media companies.
Yes.
So this is what we are trying to say, and we are trying to support.
And what's also interesting, and we have seen around the world, is media or publishing companies shifting their content, even if it's website, if it's magazines, if it's media outlets, into gaming content, because of the high readership and also in the news and everything. So I believe that even for the existing companies now that are already in Media City, the mix with the gaming companies or shifting their purpose as well and objectives and to integrate gaming into their strategies can only be beneficial.
Definitely. This is without saying, I think this is today which will make the difference between companies that will fall short and companies that will evolve.
True.
And you have today, gamification is one of the earlier things, years and years, where they try to gamify a lot of these marketing materials so that it becomes more attractive to a lot of people.
Exactly. And we also have during the session and some DGC, and we started this since last year, is blockchain and games, for example, which is also taking things to the next level, and also taking it to the next level for the publicist, because in a way the user, with using these new blockchain technologies, becomes a party, a player, part of the equation. He's also benefiting from this. So it takes even the what we know as a model today as the influencer business, it takes it even more further, because the user becomes his own influencer in a game or in a related to a brand. So there's just so much potential and so many ideas, maybe just so little time, right?
Definitely. And look, I think with the change that is happening, you will find that change will happen very quickly. We've seen what has happened over the last 20 years. And the first few years, it was more or less stable and the industry was stable. Then the next 5 years, things started changing and evolving. And with different crises happening in different points of time, this also puts a lot of pressure on companies to evolve. So I think this will definitely be an opportunity that will evolve and that will develop. And we will be able to see how we can capitalize on this opportunity and see, because the platform is available. Today in Dubai Media City and all our affiliate media sectors, and basically all of our sectors that we support, from tech to media to others, we have a very robust infrastructure that will be able to take you to the next level. Now, how will you use this is the question that you will have to answer as an entrepreneur. The platform is there, the entrepreneurship platform is there, the cost factors are taken care of, the support from visa, the support from licenses, registrations, everything is there. Now, how do you take advantage of that is the question. Today we have the M5, which is a platform that is so robust for a lot of these developers and working in so many different sectors. Not only the tech sector, we also look in media. So even the developers of content, short form film, short form videos, games that require this infrastructure, we are open for them. And we're saying, come and take advantage of the situation. The government has given you this opportunity, by subsidizing huge amounts of rates. So your subsidies go up to 90%. The only thing that you need to do is come and pitch your idea to like-minded people that are within the industry. And hopefully this basically would result in more investors coming on board and seeing, okay, these guys have been seen by professionals such as yourself and others within this industry, and who could see potential within these gaming, and then we will start investing into them.
True, I totally agree with you. This will give a huge incentive and a lot of positivity to any investor to come and say, okay, and it's even going back to the numbers, if they are subsidized to 90% and using these facilities, this also on a P&L would show, and it would actually even...
Because when we developed the platform, we didn't develop it only for the entrepreneur. We developed the platform even from an investor point of view. Because we said that in case an investor wants to come in, why would he want to spend most of the investment money that he will put in this company in a logistics play?
True.
No, he doesn't need that. You will have a subsidized logistics play, and you'll just need to spend most of this income on the talent. But I think what will make it even better is that opportunities are shown. So today, platforms such as yourself should show or would show these gamers as an industry in itself, which is, I think, which we need to capitalize on.
Totally. I mean, our mission since the start was to gather the ecosystem, tell the rest of the world that we have here a great opportunity for them, tell the whoever is in the region that you have a great opportunity in this industry as well, and gather them. And it's true that, and for example, this edition, we are giving free entrance to the developers from the whole world to actually register and be part of the B2B meeting platform and connect over 24 hours every day in order to, expand their horizon, make business deals and others. And we actually have also a few announcements during the 3 days.
Yeah, excellent.
We have a company that is newly established now in Media City, by the way, Robocom VR, who signed with Hasbro Transformers. And I will not say what's the announcement, otherwise I
was just waiting for that to come.
we also have TPay Mobile, who are also part of Media City, who signed with Unity Distribution Platform, which will help a lot the developers. And these have been with us for the past years, and meetings happened, during their attendance. And we have seen also that even if they are from Egypt, from Lebanon originally, whenever the business is growing, they establish here, and
they're most welcome here.
And these are some of the announcements that we have, and we cannot say exactly what's happening, otherwise we would spoil it. However, these are the types of synergies that are interesting. We have seen also funds from outside that are looking to invest in studios here, and because they are seeing that the region is doing a growth rate of 26% in terms of the game industry. It's the highest growth rate in the world, our region. So I think this combination of factors between the facilities, the easiness, the subsidizing, and plus the growing interest, plus the talents that exist in our developers. We also have sessions with N5 developers, with Media City developers, so smaller companies that are here, but they're doing amazing work. And their ability to adapt to new things and to the market and convince the market of their presence. But that's the challenge, right? To convince the market of your presence.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think this is the thing. Today, you can do as much as you can from a logistics and from support and from an industry and bringing the talent and doing everything. Now, the talent's job is to be able to sell his idea. If he's not able to sell his idea, then we have a problem. And this is the reason why even in that case, we also support by giving them the opportunity to sit with people that will help them be able to sell their ideas. So we might find a guy who has a great idea, but he's not able to sell it. So we support him in selling it by giving him the right training, the right even the right matching with their co-founders who will be able to sell it in some cases. So there are so many different ways of doing it, but at least what we can confidently say today is that the platform of the Media City and M5 and all of our zones today has shown a tremendous success in trying to build on it. So now it is the opportunities available for these entrepreneurs to come, take advantage, be part of ecosystems such as yourself here today, be part of this full ecosystem that we've built over the years. Take advantage of this infrastructure instead of you spending money creating this infrastructure. The infrastructure is created. Let's capitalize on it, because this is the only way going forward.
Of course, I have seen in my travels, for example, universities welcome motion capture studios. They call this as embedded industries. Like, instead of building my own studio, the university, for example, will give me an empty space, and I will build my studio. A motion capture studio is heavy in investment, and the students will benefit from it as a counterpart. So when I have student projects, my students will be able to use the studio. for example, or some companies, or some
and today
incubated companies.
If you notice, a few days ago there was they relaunched it just a few days ago, but there was a launch approximately 6-7 months ago about universities creating their own studio. They're supporting the students with entrepreneurial projects. And today, for instance, today with us and AUD and us and other universities today within our Dubai International Academic City infrastructure. Today we have a lot of the top universities around the world in different sectors, and each of them is bringing students to the platform that we have, and being able to capitalize on it, because it brings the talent and it helps mature the students into getting into business, and it will help them and support them even on starting their business. Not only the idea, even the starting of the business will happen within this infrastructure.
Tackling this point, Mr. Majed, I believe that here there is a concern that was raised by many of the game industry professionals that we have been meeting, which is how to grow our talent with education. Because these new industries also need a different type of education. They need specialized courses that are related to gaming. They need specialized ongoing training that is related also to gaming, in order to ensure that the future generation, which are the future entrepreneurs, and we know that the world is going more towards entrepreneurship than actually jobs. For them to actually reach that point, the generations of the future. So, and education has always been highlighted as something that is still lacking in our region in order to do that jump, from within our future generation into being the next entrepreneur in gaming or in related industries to the gaming industries as well. So where do you see also, this maybe not directly related to Media City, but where do you see the role to enhance the skills, the capacity building?
Okay, I think there are two parts on the question that we can answer. One part is that we are on an ongoing development and study of the industry and the changes within the industry in different sectors that are more or less related. So tech, into media, into design, into different. So we look at all of these sectors and we do a lot of studies and a lot of forward-thinking kind of strategies that we think this industry will change depending on the amount of information that we get out of companies that we have here today. Today we have more than 2,000 plus companies that are working within Media City alone. So around 5,000 companies across. So all of this data that we are getting, it's giving us this opportunity to be able to foresee the future. So that's number one. So we know exactly, or we have a good idea of how the future would look like. So that's number one. Now we share this information today with the public, and we share this information with the universities too. Basically what's happening is that, so when we started getting these studies, we started sharing these studies with different stakeholders. And we believe today one of the critical stakeholders in creating any industry, any knowledge-based industry today, is universities or institutions that are sharing knowledge and developing knowledge. So we've actually got in touch with a lot of these universities, and we tried to understand what else we can provide them. So when we provide them with certain requirements of how the future would move, they would require to develop vocational training, or they would develop new certifications within the new industries that are coming up. So for instance, today the media. So as people shift from full form video into short form video, this in itself requires a different kind of infrastructure. So we go back to universities and we share with them the opportunities. In fact, we got to a point where we go to the universities and say, you know what, guys, these students that you have are finishing, they create a project. Instead of them just creating a project for the fact of just passing the exam, let's help them in creating projects that would become companies in the future. So we integrated business with them. So the infrastructure and gaming is no different from that. There are today certificates within the media sector, within the gaming and development. And we're saying, let's bring people who are potential investors in the future to tell you what they think. Because if you are building something that no one wants or is obsolete, then there is, and you will get you will get the academic accreditation, but it's useless. You would have spent 6 months of your time developing something that will not go anywhere. So we want to integrate more. And this integration happens across all of the spectrum, whether he's developing a tech play or a tech app, or whether he's developing a short form video, or whether he's developing content for a console or for a different gaming platform.
True.
So we've done a lot in the past, and I think we are going to do more in the future. But I think people are more perceptive. People are more taking the risk and investing into these. And I think publishers in general have started to understand the game much better. And hopefully this would result more into the investment going and flowing in towards that. And then this will become hopefully one of the largest parts of the industry. And today I think it was a double-digit growth within this industry itself. I think more than 20.
The gaming industry globally is around $140 billion, which is 3 times what Hollywood makes and 5 times what the music industry makes.
And then on aggregate, I think in the region, it's also developing at that space.
In the region, we are around $4 billion, which is considered as only 10% of the potential. And we are still actually lacking content. And we are lacking even more content in Arabic. As you have mentioned, we have one common language and a huge population. And from the conversations I've had, other regions are actually looking at us now as a reference. For example, when you look at Africa, and when I've had all of these discussions, they are looking at the model that was created here, and not necessarily looking at the model that was created in the US or in Europe anymore. They're just seeing Dubai and what was created here as a successful model, and they are trying to see how they can actually also benefit from that.
And that's exactly the smart way of doing it, right?
Yeah. So and these came from and I believe that in the end, what's really great about the gaming industry is that it has a friendly competition. It's highly competitive in terms of creativity and who's doing the best game. However, it has a good atmosphere also, where 2 competing companies that might be, totally opposite, and when they are launching a game, they are very friendly and they can even talk about their ideas. It's a very friendly and enriched environment as well. It's very positive. It has a lot of things, and I'm seeing so much talent in our region, so much, and they are all not discovered yet, like gems, like diamonds. In games, you always have gems and diamonds. Yeah. So like gems
and unicorns.
Unicorns. So, and there is a great role to be played to discover these gems and diamonds and polish them and just make them shine. And we thank you, Mr. Majed, for all that you're doing, and also all that you will be doing in the future to welcome more gaming companies here in Dubai, in Media City. And it's a great opportunity for everybody, and the support, I'm sure, will have a good return on investment, and not only on gaming companies but also on the rest of the companies that are also part of Media City.
It's a pleasure, and I think it is an excellent opportunity. I think keep up the good work on your end too, and we'll be more than happy to welcome this opportunity with a lot of these companies today within the region and within the world to find this as a opportunity for them to grow.
And we hope that the next DGC will be not live, but physical in Media City, in your beautiful facilities outside, where there is the garden, the fountain, and it's a very beautiful and welcoming place. And we hope to get everybody here physically, and we can all shake hands as well.
All the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.